This is CGTN, China Global Television Network.
On today's World Insight, with the Canton Fair just wrapping up, we speak to international exhibitors to see how this fair has thrived as an online expo. And we speak to the Vice President of the Canton Fair to see the role this exhibition plays in China's international trade.
Hello, I'm Tian and welcome to World Insight. Today we are going to talk about the Canton Fair. The 131st China Import and Export Fair, also known as the Canton Fair, concludes on Sunday. The fair builds on China's domestic and international dual circulation. The 10-day event presented more than 2.9 million products covering 16 categories from consumer goods to home wares. The Canton Fair has long history as one of the largest trade fairs in the world. Many are Canton Fair's regulars who made friends and taken business opportunities there. We invited some of them, and here are their stories. So I'm very honored to be joined by Dr. Harley Sayadin, coming from the American Chamber of Commerce in South China. Meanwhile, also we are joined by William Yaya, who is the Purchasing Director of Kawan Lama Group. Julian Baisley, Chairman and MD at Ubank. Last but not least, Wang Zhe, COO of Choice International Group. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. I want to know more about your stories with the Canton Fair. Maybe we start from Mr. Sayadin. How many years have you been there, and what is it for you?
Thank you. I have personally been in China for about 30 years. I came here to look at Canton Fair as well as look for investment opportunities. I was very fortunate. I was given the very first business license in 1993 that was given to a Westerner to build, own, and operate a power plant in China. I built that and it became operational in 1995 at a time where China needed the technology and also needed electricity badly because it was beginning to expand. Fortunately, I've also benefited greatly from the Canton Fair and have attended it every year, have watched it evolve from a small, low technology consumer product fair to an export and import fair where foreign companies have the opportunity to sell their products through the Canton Fair, through its exhibit as well, and watch it to go from a simple brick and mortar type of an operation to an online and offline operation, which is extremely important. It has kept up with technology. Canton Fair has actually acted as the opening up vehicle of China to the rest of the world because Dr. David Boxbaum, who's the person who was the first American invited to the Canton Fair 50 years ago on the 15th of April, he actually not only did business through the Canton Fair, but ended up staying in China for the last 50 years, contributing a great deal to the legal development of China. He became the first American and perhaps even the only foreigner to appear in courts and to argue cases before the Chinese.
That's really amazing. You know, how about how Canton Fair, you know, the experience of it enrich a person's life, and also the other way around, how he contributed to China. That is a moving story. But what about for you, Mr. Yaya, coming from Asia? I'm sure you have a different perspective. and also coming from a developing and emerging economy as well.
Our company started attending the Canton Fair in 1996, I believe, yes. And then personally, I started attending to Canton Fair is in 2005. So since then, I came to China for Canton Fair basically twice a year, and that's always for us is the eye opener. We started seeing the Liuhua Bingguan that's the small building, and then until now the big mega complex that in the Pazhou Canton. And by definition, as a importer also as a retailer, we are selling basically everything except food and clothing. So for that community, for that kind of merchandise, basically we can find everything in Canton Fair. And for us, until now, we average imported around 4,000 containers per month to Indonesia. And most 80% of them is come from China. And I would say most of 100% of those 80%, those supplier actually is connected with Canton Fair. We found those customer, those supplier from Canton Fair.
But how do you see the growth of your economy over the past decades when you were attending the Canton Fair and the ever-evolving demands and needs coming from your market?
In Indonesia, as you have mentioned, is emerging market. So in terms of industrialization, it's not as strong from China. So it's a great opportunity for us to introduce the China-made product, which is in terms of pricing, but at the same time, it provides tremendous value for us. So in a way that we sort of bring a better life and better value to our customer in Indonesia. So also in the future, we also actively looking for opportunity to bring in China manufacturer to have a cooperation with us in Indonesia, so that to set up a factory in Indonesia, so that actually can help the Indonesia economy to build a more employment, and also to bring in the know-how of manufacturing. So in a whole, is a great opportunity.
So it seems that it's much more sophisticated than just commodities. It's about even investment opportunities. It's about know-how.
Exactly.
It's about a lot of things. That's amazing. I love that. And let me also now go to Mr. Wang, sitting in the panel. Tell me more about your experiences interacting with visitors going to the Canton Fair. Of course, you're based in China, and therefore you have a much convenient way of using the Canton Fair as a platform to interact with your colleagues around the world.
We participate the Canton Fair for 21 years, from 2000. Our first customer come from this Canton Fair. Its name is Forbin. It's from Nigeria. We have the global trade for the product of lightning. In Guangdong province, we have a very good product and manufacture. And in Africa country, for example, Nigeria and some Eastern countries, it is our product and services. So we have a very good cooperation for this side.
Mr. Baisley, tell me more about where you are from and your experience with the Canton Fair.
The first time I came to China was in 1992. And actually, we're a manufacturer based in the UK. And we were looking for components, specifically one component. And we arrived in Shenzhen, which at that point was almost like a fishing village and just starting to build. So it was really interesting. And a few years later, I discovered the Canton Fair. So I came for sourcing. About 12 years ago, we began to exhibit there. And I have to say, it's the most incredible show to exhibit at, because the whole world comes. We export to over 50 countries, and the majority of those have been as a result of the Canton Fair. So it's an exhibition that we promote to other people in the UK and say they should be there. It's a wonderful opportunity to meet together, to talk, to find information about markets, especially the Chinese market.
The realities are about geopolitics, pandemic, disruption of global supply and also value chains. We are also likely to see the economic crisis coupled with energy crisis, food crisis, all of these. It seems that our earlier decades of celebration now comes to a pause. So, gentlemen, as traders yourself, as someone who has been using the Canton Fair as a good platform to develop, how do you see all of these issues?
It's true that there's so many things happening and also uncertainty is arise for many things. But I believe that communication and a good foundation of trust there is the most important part of it. And then Canton Fair is also become one of the key factor. I would say it's not just simply just providing a product with the lowest price possible. It's basically more like an introduction of a manufacturing-based ecosystem. Like, for example, like Shenzhen is famous for electronics. Machinery is famous for northern China. So that's kind of like precision business matching. I think is add very much value for us in terms of product development and also for exploring for new friends in times like this. But other than that, for the existing ongoing supplier, Canton Fair also provide another platform for us as well to help us to engage with our existing supplier, so that to make sure for making sure that the communication and the trust is still there.
About the disruption of global supply chains and value chains, the geopolitics, regional conflicts, all of these technology advances, what does all of these big issues impacting on your interaction with trade and also on your participation of the Canton Fair?
China don't have the advantage of the low cost labor, and so we must to go outside to for President Xi said to our people that we must to put forward the Belt and Road initiatives. So we companies have built the factory, KD factory for AC air conditioner and vehicles in Nigeria. We have the co-work with Green and GEC Motors to build the factory to not only to produce the product, but we also build the manufacture in local country.
So flexibility is what you're talking about, agility, as well as creating opportunities and jobs with your partners when you are having business there. Mr. Tian, tell me more about how do you see the challenges that I mentioned earlier?
I need to commend the leaders of Canton Fair for their ability to open up a channel that otherwise we would not have. People need the products, they need the supplies, they have to find a way to get them. Many of those products are only available in the quantities that we need in China, from China's manufacturing capability. And without the Canton Fair online, we would not have the option to be able to reach the suppliers, discover the new products that are available, and to make up for the lack of service and supplies that would otherwise not be available. So it's a very productive method of offering us an alternative and a solution that does not exist any other way or any other possibility. So we're grateful for that, and I think it's really important that we continue to work with Canton Fair to expand the capability. What will be important going forward is that we as well as Canton Fair and other companies have learned a great deal from these challenges. The future is going to continue to be online and offline. Of course, they're having the ability to order products online saves a tremendous amount of cost and money and time, and all of that are very important to business.
Right. One could tell it is so easy to give up, and yet it is really takes a lot of courage and guts to have that resilience that all of you have been talking about. Before we wrap up today's discussion, I really want to have a brief answer from every one of you about what kind of Canton Fair you want to see because you think about the history of Canton Fair. Really, it has transformed China. It also transformed the interactions between China and the rest of the world. And the development of China has also been having an impact on every one of us in the world, vice versa. So how do you see, your dream-like Canton Fair? What kind of Canton Fair you would love to expect for the future? Mm-hmm. Let's go together. Let's have Mr. Widyaya. Maybe I'll go with another person. So I already see Mr. Vidyaya trying to look at the ceiling and try to come up with the dream version. But I will leave you to your answer. But first of all, let's go to Mr. Baisley.
Thank you. Well, I think the show as it is for us is almost perfect. Maybe a bigger international section would be good. But for us, if we can get the number of booths that we normally want, it allows us to show all of our products, to demonstrate them, and to have plenty of room to meet and sit with customers.
All right. Mr. Wang?
In the pandemic years, so we have also have an online Canton Fair, not also but not only the offline Canton Fair. In last Canton Fair, we not only to find our customers, we want to find more partners. As I said before, for example, I find GREE, the first world AC producer, and the JC Motors, the famous Guangdong province vehicle manufacturer. So I think in the future, I think Canton Fair can give a very powerful platform, not only a local platform for the trading, but we must to give me some international platform to find more partners, so we can work together to give our customers not only the product, but also the service, the technology, the management ideas, so on.
A long list of expectations. Thank you so much, Mr. Wang. Let me go to you, Dr. Tian.
Thank you. I envision that we will continue to have an online as well as an offline version of the Canton Fair. I think the two parts are extremely important. The challenges that we have faced helped us advance into a two-phase model. I believe that the online version will continue to advance to a 3D model where you can actually feel and see and know about the product before you arrive in China. While a lot of those products are developed here in China, it can be used overseas. And I think expanding the import part of the import-export fair to the point where many manufacturers from around the world exhibit their products as strongly as the Chinese manufacturers do is the way of the future, and is going to lead prosperity worldwide and help every economy as well as China.
With that hopeful note, let me move on to Mr. Widyaya.
In the future, since online matching have been developed during these past 2 years, so in the future, I would envision that perhaps it's doing a both online and offline version of the Canton Fair, and at the same time, with more product or more supplier that is also very strong in the e-commerce industry, maybe to including them into the Canton Fair ecosystem. That might be also a good one, because as a developed country like Indonesia, the online e-commerce ecosystem is not it's not as active and dynamic than the one in China. So if there's a show segment inside the Canton Fair that is dedicated to those in terms of supplier or solution provider, that will be also a good solution. I think it's a good add-on features for us. And of course, aside those, adding more restaurant and food in Canton Fair will be always a plus.
Well, thank you so much. I think those are wonderful suggestions, absolutely. Thank you for your story sharing and also your personal experiences, as well as your best wishes for the Canton Fair. Canton Fair is a phenomenon. It's not just a trade fair. It is an open door and an open window for China over the past decades for China's reform and opening up. and you have been contributing to that. Thank you so much. This is World Insight. We are talking about today the Canton Fair. A bigger and brighter Canton Fair, the stuff of the future. How do fair organizers plan to outdo themselves? Next.
累计到会境外采购商超过900万。
Welcome back. This is World Insight with me, Tian. Our topic today is the Canton Fair. Canton Fair this year made a big splash with exhibitors from 32 countries and regions. Even though it is being held online, the popularity of the Canton Fair remains the same. The fair is not about just the labels, but also looking at the bigger and brighter future. What's next year, and what about the year after? About that, I asked Canton Fair organizer Chu Shijia, Vice President and Secretary General of the Canton Fair and Director General of the China Foreign Trade Center. Here's his talks. Mr. Chu, what a pleasure. So you are the man behind the Canton Fair.
广交会有中国商务部。
The China Import and Export Fair, also known as the Canton Fair, is co-hosted by the Ministry of Commerce and the People's Government of Guangdong Province. It has the longest history of any international trading event in China. It boasts the largest scale and broadest distribution of buyer sources in China. Over the past 66 years, the Canton Fair has made remarkable achievements. We have established trade relations with over 220 countries and regions. The accumulated number of buyer visits has reached 9 million, with export volume exceeding $1.4 trillion. Leaders of the CPC and the country have made their mark here. The fair also receives much attention from overseas. Many heads of state and government leaders all over the world visit the Canton Fair. That pushes forward their country's economic and trade cooperation with China. Chinese President Xi Jinping sent congratulatory letters twice to us and noted Canton Fair's significant contributions to international trade, international exchanges, and economic development since its inception. That endows us with new historic mission and points a direction for our future development.
就是一个以市场为基础的重要的对外开放平台。
The Canton Fair has been an important market-based platform for opening up since its establishment. It is a platform for exhibition, exchange, trade, but also international cooperation. Products showing the latest in China's innovation are displayed here. For industry exchange, domestic and foreign enterprises gather and communicate here. For trade promotion, the Canton Fair plays an important role in linking China and the world market, helping domestic enterprises join the international market and get orders from other countries. At the same time, a large number of overseas enterprises understand the Chinese market through the Canton Fair and enter the process of China's economic development. We are also absorbing more and more foreign enterprises to participate in the Canton Fair to better match the increasingly sophisticated Chinese customers' tastes and aspirations for a better life.
更好地满足国内消费升级和人民对美好生活的向往。
You talked about the Canton Fair being the window for China and the rest of the world. But now people are looking at, why is China talking about domestic circulation, international circulation? Is China thinking about looking inward rather than looking internationally? So what is the role of the Canton Fair now?
广交会的一个非常突出的功能。
Connecting China and the world, the Canton Fair is crucial to domestic and international circulations. It plays a critical role in fostering new development paradigm and facilitating dual circulation of domestic and overseas markets. To increase effectiveness, we have taken multiple measures to help companies better use the two markets and two resources so as to facilitate the dual circulation.
广邀境外客商 参加广交会，畅通国际大循环。
First, extend invitations to overseas buyers and boost the international cycle. We have tailored our marketing to buyers worldwide to maintain their interests. Second, we raise the quality of the international pavilion to fulfill domestic consumption demands. Third, we expand invitations to domestic buyers and advance the integration of domestic and foreign trade. Our key focus domestically is supply chain buyers, supermarkets, retail chains, and large e-commerce platforms. We help exporters to connect with domestic buyers and work to ensure products sold at home and abroad are made via the same supply chain, with the same quality, and up to the same standard. Such efforts contribute to the integrated development of the domestic and foreign trade, as well as building of the unified national market. Fourth, we hold dual circulation promotion activities to boost domestic sales of goods originally produced for export. We have cooperated with departments of commerce, financial institutions, and industrial associations to help them connect with exhibitors at the Canton Fair. This is very popular with exporters during this critical time of the pandemic.
这一点啊，在疫情下非常受出口企业的欢迎。
The situations are getting ever more complicated with the pandemic, with the geopolitics, as well as regional conflicts combined. Disruption of global supply chains and value chains is very much concern for, trading companies around the world. How do you see, the challenge like that? What does that mean to you, to the Canton Fair?
这个2020年新冠肺炎疫情爆发以来。
Since the outbreak of the pandemic, China has actively coordinated the prevention and control of COVID-19 with economic and social development, taking the lead in economic resumption and achieving negative to positive economic growth. China's advantage of full industrial chain production has made a unique contribution to maintaining the stability of the global industrial and supply chain. As we all know, China has a full range of manufacturing industries covering the entire industrial chain. The rapid resumption of Chinese enterprises has continued to provide much-needed production and consumer goods, including medical and health supplies, to the world, safeguarding the production and livelihood needs during the pandemic. To stabilize the impact of COVID-19 and the global supply chain and industrial chains, buyers from all over the world want to know which places can provide products that meet local needs in a timely manner.
哪个地方能够及时提供符合当地的需要的产品？
Faced with the pandemic, the Canton Fair has made innovations to move online and adapt to an online-offline integration. This blazes a path for large exhibitions and plays an important role in stabilizing global industrial chains and supply chains as well as foreign trade. The just wrapped up Canton Fair was held online again. We have applied cutting-edge technologies to build a more convenient, efficient trade cooperation platform that transcends boundaries. Exhibitors uploaded 3 million products, with about 950,000 making debuts. The record number fully shows the competence of Chinese manufacturing. Over 25,000 Chinese and overseas exhibitors met buyers across the world online. Participants could buy and sell to the world via online display, business matchmaking, and online negotiations at their fingertips.
实现足不出户就可以买全球、卖全球。
Mr. Chu Shijia, thank you so much for your input and your answers. That's all the time we have for today. If you'd like to know more, search World Insight or check out our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Tian Wei on behalf of the team. Thanks for being with us. Bye for now.